Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Zoom event today. Today we have Karen Richards, who is a National Marketing Director. My name is Mo Cunningham, and I have the pleasure of introducing her today. Karen is from Clarksville, Tennessee. She's married to Josh and is a middle school teacher, and they have three beautiful children. They have Colton, age 17, Talia, 13, Owen, age 8. And Karen is a board-certified health coach with over 25 years experience as a certified personal trainer, and fitness instructor. Karen herself has MS, and her kids all have a form of an autoimmune disease, as well as her oldest having cerebral palsy. Their family journey makes Karen passionate and compassionate about her helping others with their health goals, especially those with the chronic disease. Karen, if you would like to take away, I'm excited to hear what you have, and let me get my pen and paper and go right ahead.
All right. Well, I'm excited to be with you guys because I so love and respect your leader too. It's amazing, the sidelines. And Jamie Kinsey is one of my upline national marketing directors, and she's the one that kind of coordinated the call. And but there's actually a national marketing director between us too, my sponsor, whose name is Jamie Mercer. I have been a part of this company as a consumer for over 10 years. And I have been eating Juice Plus I've been eating Juice Plus for over 10 years, and I've been a rep for 9. I was one of those people that was not a 5%er. I'm actually only going to be in my entire team that wasn't, but that's just a part of my story. So I'm going to give you like really short part of my story and like fast forward, but I was introduced to Juice Plus back in 2007 and because of my special needs child. And so the problem was that he was so unhealthy. He had already been diagnosed with CP. He was diagnosed on the autism spectrum. He had been diagnosed with what's called a Chiari malformation, which is when part of your brain tissue is in the backside of your skull. He had just all kinds of sensory issues and things. We had therapists in our house every day of the week. And we lived at the pediatrician's office, which many mom and dads can relate to as far as things like ear infections and colds. And I was looking for something, just anything to help him get healthy. And a physical therapist said to me, "Have you ever heard of this?" It made total sense to me because as a trainer, my clients would come in and be like, "I'm not happy. I'm not losing weight." And I would say, "Do a food journal." And I'd be like, "Hey, those 5 Twinkies you ate this week, probably not helping with that." So, I thought, oh my gosh. And then I made this huge connection, that I myself ate healthy for fitness, but it never occurred to me to feed my children a certain way for health, because I ate that way because I wanted to look a certain way versus what it was doing on the inside of my body. So we'll talk a little bit about that later and how to plot our stories out. But first, I'm going to be giving you guys some social media tips. That's something that I do a lot of. I run a couple businesses, social media pages and accounts, different things on Facebook and Instagram. And I see a lot of misconceptions out there that get shared. And so I love to get to chat with people and say, hey, that's actually not right. And so let's get you out there and get your stories out where people can actually see them and get to them, and you can have more people see what you're doing. So I should be able to hopefully screen share. So I'm going to show you real quick my Facebook personal profile, not my business page. But that's me. I put a little video. You can do videos now in your profile pictures, which are just fun. People are like, oh, I see where your kids get their personality. But I go through and I try to make sure that I change my cover photo at least every other week. That's something that brings a big draw too, because every time you change your profile or your cover, everyone's like, oh my gosh, I love your picture. Even if it's something that is old that you've already used before, I bring it back up sometimes around the holidays. But this is the biggest thing, is that in my friends, I have all my friends categorized. And so to do that, I'm going to show you, for instance, I know a lot of you know my upline, Jamie Kinsey. So I'm going to pop her in here. And so what you can do is when you make friends with someone, I automatically categorize them. And they may go into multiple categories, but for me, it might be, do I know them from the kids' school? Or do they go to my church? Or are they someone I met on travels? Are they a part of my Juice Plus team? Are they a prospect? Are they a customer base? So there's all these different ways I know people. So for instance, Jamie, she's marked one of my close friends because we collaborate a lot. I want to know what she's doing. We talk back and forth. But you can also go to, create a list. And so there's all these different things. So I have people like I went to high school with them. I went to college with them. They live near me. AD's my daughter's dance studio. Someone's in my sorority. I met them through my husband's work, things like that. And so that is a great way, because what you can do when you're on your mobile device or on your computer, you can share things just to that specific category. So for instance, today I can say that I'm so excited to be sharing on a Zoom. But I can go and, a lot of you know you can make that public, but you can also take that to a specific group down here where it says more. And so I do that a lot. Specific friends, I build those lists and I share them just to them. So you can share that, like if you're looking for a recommendation for something you're building a home, you may not care to share it to everyone out there in Facebook world, but you might share it to just the people in your local city. Sometimes I share articles just to those prospects that I've met on travels or whatever it might be. So that's just one way that you can use your social media just a little more, just a little more specific to get who you're getting to. Another thing I see going on is a lot of Juice Plus people tend to copy and paste what other people are doing, even though they're not sharing, which is good. We don't want to share other people's posts because you may be giving away your customers. They will just copy and paste word for word. And what happens is there's this algorithm that people are going to start, it's going to be shown less and less. So for instance, there's one going around right now that I see a lot of people copying and sharing, and it says, hey everybody, there's a new algorithm on Facebook. I need you to pop an emoji in my, comments or whatever so that we can see each other. And that's well and fine, but now that 500 Juice Plus reps have done that, Facebook is not going to let people see that. They consider that spam. And so your reach is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So you want to change up. So if I see, Mo's got an awesome shake post or something and I love her picture and maybe she doesn't care if I borrow her picture, I'm going to totally change my comments. What I say is going to be totally different so that it's not going to grab the same people in that post. Does that make sense? So that's one way of doing that. And then also, I always tell people, don't like and be lazy, comment and care. But I think we see a lot of the same things come up in your news feed. So I always ask people, are you seeing a lot of Juice Plus posts coming up in your news feed? And it's not that we don't want to be supportive of other people in our Juice Plus community, but you get excited and you like it and you comment on it. So now you are tied to that person. That's how come you are connected to them now. And all of a sudden you're like, gosh, I'm not seeing my friends anymore that I went to high school with, or my college, or my peers from work. Those are the people I really want to be sharing Juice Plus with. And guess what? You're right. And they're not seeing your stuff either. And so the best way you can do that is to set intentional times. We really are trying to do somehow some people would do text blitz. In our team, we work on social media blitz. And so maybe it's, during a call. Tonight, we're actually going to do that during our team call. We're going to take 5 minutes of intentionality and we're going to ask them to go message people that they want to get together with at the holidays. Are they traveling home to their parents? And maybe there's high school friends there or people that they haven't seen in a long time. So they're going to go to their public profile and they're going to comment on some of their pictures, but then they're going to take it a step further. They're going to go into their inbox and say, hey, I love that picture of little Johnny you posted. So sweet. I would love to be able to connect while I'm in town this week. Instead of just posting that on their page, always be that person that goes above and beyond. And so that's something that I just am really passionate about. I feel like people are posting and sharing on social media, it is becoming a big platform for, selling like we do. We sell Juice Plus, but it's also people wanted this for connection. They wanted to be on Facebook so that you could see their children. For me, I know a lot of, our family is spread out all over the country, and it's a great way for my husband's cousins and my cousins and people that I used to get to go to family reunions with when I was younger that I don't get to see anymore. This is how we stay connected. And if I don't make that effort to go comment on their things, then I know they're not seeing my stuff anymore. And it's amazing this shift that has happened in my news feed over the last couple years when I did that, because I will have people that I see that will say, oh my gosh, my newsfeed is totally filled with negativity. I'm like, mine's not. Mine's wonderful. But I think it's because of who I'm commenting on, that's who's showing up in my algorithm. Or that they'll say, I'm not seeing who I want to see. I'm seeing exactly who I want to see. You know, you can go in and you can comment on people's stuff, and you can actually mark that you want to see them. So another thing that you can do on your phones, which I will say, I have an Android, so I'm not 100% if this is the way it works for you iPhone users. But when you go to post, I don't know if you can even see this, real little, you click on your own picture, and it will bring up your news feed. Well, on your little news feed button on the top left, when you go on that, it'll start bringing up like your, it'll bring up like your groups that you're in. It'll bring up your pages that you follow, things like that. And when it does that, if you keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, eventually it will get to, it'll say news feed, and it'll say all. But you can go in there, if you have pre-made lists, you can pick your list. So for instance, one of my intentionalities will be on Fridays that I am going to go around to all my neighbors, and I'm going to be selecting them. So they're going to be the only people that show up in my news feed, and I'm going to comment on their things, and then they're going to be able to see my posts better because I've now set them up that way. And I'm going to post that I'm having a salad in a jar, and that's going to happen on Sunday. And so because I've gone out and reached out and commented on their stuff, I'm going to show up first in their news feed. And so when I say, hey, I'm having a salad in a jar on Sunday, who wants to come? They don't miss my post. Even though I am going to reach out and invite them, it's showing up more. So I hope all that makes sense. Did I lose anybody? I know I talk super fast. Okay, so I'm going to jump off that, and I'll leave a little time for questions at the end. The other thing that we have been working on, and I've been coaching team-wide for our team on this, is sharing your story in a more bulleted kind of way. And there was a great training that is out there. You can get on the Mission Driven Model. And it's about the PLOT training, P-L-O-T, and it's problem, lesson, opportunity, and triumph is what that breaks down to. And it's listed as part of the business, like building your business story, but we're using it for product and business. And it has some lead-in questions, like it might say, it starts the sentence, before Juice Plus, I was. And so we have people writing that out so that if you're doing those Zoom launches, they can go quicker and more efficient. You can get more people in. They can tell both their product and their business. The people that I've been launching, I'm getting 4 people at a time on, and we're done in 20 minutes. People will watch videos that are short. But if you say to someone, oh my gosh, you missed my lunch. I wish you were there. I got to share my story. And then you send them a 50-minute video, the likelihood of them watching that is pretty small. And so it's not just your story you're wanting them to hear. You're wanting them to hear the people that are on that call with you because their story is different. You're wanting them to hear whoever is telling that marketing plan piece of it. And so that's something that you really want to practice doing. Again, that P-L-O-T. And so it might look like a piece of my story is if I was typing it out scripted, I might say, before Juice Plus, I was suffering because my child was sick all the time. And we suffered chronic ear infections and respiratory illnesses, which is very common in a special needs child. L is the lesson. And so I was introduced to whole food nutrition. I learned that there was a better way that I could put nutrients into my baby and he could get healthier. The opportunity comes next. And so I could say something like, I also found that in this private support group on Facebook, there were all kinds of opportunities for me to learn. I got healthy recipes. I was able to connect with healthcare professionals that knew more than I did about the subject. And then the triumph comes last. He is now healthier. He hasn't had a sick day in years, whatever that might be. But then once you've got your script, I always tell people, speak like you talk. We all come from different parts of the world. We come from different dialects. We come from different backgrounds. And so I was teasing one of my girlfriends. She sent me hers and she said, oh, my NMD said, you know, maybe you could clean this up for me a little bit. Now, this is a girl that when she calls me, her Voxer, it will say, hey girl, hey, what's going on? And so I said, that makes no sense for the way everyone knows that you speak to get on and say, before Juice Plus, I was a tired mother. You know, like it does sound scripted. And so I said, I want you now to rewrite it the same way you talk, because we should, because we text people the same way we talk, right? We don't become very formal when we send someone a text message. If I'm texting Tasha, I'm not going to be like, good afternoon, Tasha. How are you today? I'm going to be like, hey girl, what's up? You know, and so that's how we want to also share our story, especially when we're on Messenger or text, because we want it to come across genuine and like it's us. It's not this stuffy formal thing. And so I think that's important when we're sharing, especially online as well. And so what might happen is my friend, Mo, I don't know, I assume Mo has children. Mo's going to say, do you have children, Mo? No children? Oh, well, okay. Well, then I won't use Mo. So we'll say someone on this call has a child and I don't know who that is, but you say, you know, hey, I saw your post, Karen, and could you tell me more about that? So the way I could condense that into my plot now is be like, oh my gosh, girl, yeah. So we totally battled all kinds of respiratory infections. And I was put in this group where I learned all kinds of recipes. And I don't know if that's for you, but I got connected to medical professionals totally free. It was awesome. And now my child's no longer suffering from those issues. So I totally went from a script to how to make it a little more conversational in the way that I share. I think we get very scripted sometimes. So the more conversational we can make that story, it's going to get easier and easier to share it out on social media. And one actual media tip that I wanted to share with you guys, that some people have told me that they cannot do this on their phone. So again, I don't know if this is Android versus iPhone, but on my Voxer, when I go to my own profile on the front page, it does let me post things just like Facebook does now. And so I put my stories, so if someone goes to my profile, they don't have to message me and be like, hey, Karen, can I get your product story? It's right there. The minute they click my picture, they can see it. So if you have that option, you might do that, because then I can just say to people, yeah, it's on my profile. Go ahead and grab it. And so that's a great way to do that on all your platforms, is just to have your stories somewhere that people can find them really easily. They can link to it. You could take that Voxer link, you could put that on your, your Instagram on the bio, because people change out your bio all the time on Instagram. That's a great way to share there. So you can be posting audio clips, because it is a website, right, with Voxer. So that's a great way to get your story out to people. And that could be a daily message. That could be anything you want to share. Maybe it's one specific thing. But I always tell people, I feel like I have so many product stories because so many different things have happened in my family's health that I don't want to share just one. So it depends on who I'm talking to, what it is I'm going to be sharing. So you want to do that plot with maybe your Shred 10 experience. You want to do that plot story with how you first got introduced to Juice Plus. You want to do that plot story with your business and how you got introduced to the business and what your goals are for the future. So you can break that down in a lot of different ways in order to share out for depending on who your audience is. So I see it's 3:23 already. So I'm going to kind of end there and see if anybody has questions, if that's okay.
I have a question.
Amazing. Oh, sorry. Someone has a question. Go on, Mo.
No. I just wanted to say, you mentioned that you have a profile on your Voxer.
Yes.
Is that a pro?
Yes, it's a pro account.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I can figure it out. Thank you.
Yeah, just tap on your own picture and it should take you to, where you can see your own Voxer ID. And if you have it, it should be right there.
I'm curious, do you have any book that you're reading right now that would give us a little confidence or a little something?
Oh my gosh, I read so many books at a time. So I'm a big Audible person. Yeah. So I listen in my car when I'm driving. I don't really listen to the radio. I listen to Audible. Always have my university going. One thing that I just wrapped up was The One Thing by Gary Keller. If you haven't read that, he's the founder of Keller Williams Real Estate, which is like the hugest real estate company. And even if you just read through chapter 4, you'd probably be like, all right, I'm good. So if you're not a huge reader, just try to get through the first 4 chapters, because he's just really great about focus. You know, what's that one thing that's going to move your business ahead? I think too many times we get scattered and we're working on too many areas at once.
My question I have, Karen, can you hear me fine?
Yeah.
Cool, I just got to the gym. My one question I have for you is, actually no, I have 2, so many all the time. There's something that I want to pick up on from what you said, actually, which my friend, I don't know if you do it, so that kind of was my question, if you do it, but I'll explain it. Basically, one of my friends who's a sideline is doing this, he's paying a lot of money for like a Facebook course. It's not network marketing, or it might be, either way, it's a Facebook course. And one of the things is where you can make friend lists of, I don't know how to explain it. I'm going to screen record my iPhone 8 later and post it. You can basically screen record, you can make friend lists, and in those friend lists, for example, if I did it for my team, I'd put all my team in this friend list, and then you can go onto this kind of section on your Facebook, which is friend list, click on this, team friend list, and on that list it will be all the people from my team, so I get to see all my team's posts. So it's a great way to kind of see it, what your team are posting, and to go through and quickly show support. But also what you can do is, if you post within that list, Facebook makes sure that every single person on that list sees your post. So I don't know if you use that.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying.
And if you found
on your phone, and I have Android,
right.
So I'm not sure if iPhone and how that works, but definitely go to your news feed, and so you still have the ability to post at the top of that news feed, and that's who will see it. But if you do, if you pick that list, whether it's your team you've built, or like I said, I was posting to my neighbors. Yeah.
Oh, so that's what you're on about. Okay, good. Because I just wanted to clarify that's we were on the same page with that.
Yeah,
okay,
and you don't have to pay a lot of money. I just told you for free.
Right, exactly. I know. Well, it's a good thing about having friends that want to share information, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. What would you say, I would think, I'm going to ask in terms of, like, do you have a set list of things that you post on your social media? Or do you kind of just wing it every day? Or do you have like a set idea of, because I have at least maybe 6-7 topics that I always try and touch every day. Are you the same? And do you post really regularly? Like, are you posting multiple times a day? And do you choose certain times? And do you use any apps to post, or do you just post off your own accord?
So on my personal page, I post off my own accord. I use no apps at all. I do have a business Facebook page, and I don't need to use apps for that, because on a business page, it will let you select when you want to publish it. Mm-hmm. So, you don't need a Hootsuite or anything like that if you have a business page. So when I post
my personal page, that's your profile.
Mm-hmm. And cool. So okay. What I do on my business page is I tag myself in my pictures so that it shows up on my personal feed as well. Right. And I don't do that with all of them, but like mostly Juice Plus people want to see what I'm posting. So I say, hey, go over to my business page, or you can follow me on my public page, but I don't friend all the Juice Plus people. So no offense if I don't accept a friend request. I love people, it's like, I have so many people.
I don't either.
Plus that, like, I follow them. I'm following tons of people that a lot of people want to be friends with. And I'm like, if you're following them, you're seeing them anyway. So it's fine. But I pick specific topics. I try to tell people, if you're not someone that uses a lot of social media, then you may only want to pick 4 or 5 things. If you're someone that's on social media a lot, like you're saying, I probably have like 6 things. I travel a lot. So, I use the hashtag like world traveler a lot. And people know I'm always traveling, and they like to see where I'm going and things like that. I'm a foodie. So I post a lot I do a lunchbox makeovers. And so I'm always posting my kids' lunch boxes. And I do that a lot on my personal, because people ask me for it and they want to see it. So I actually started my own Facebook group that's something that, you know, if you're not ready to start your own group, join a group. Join something that's specific to things you like. It doesn't have to have anything to do with Juice Plus. If you like to garden, if you like to knit, if you like to travel, if you like to collect owls, you know, whatever it might be, join some Facebook groups like that, because just getting to post in there and interacting with people, you're going to meet new people.
Hi, Karen, can I ask when you...
Yeah, I think that's.
Yeah, Yvette?
Hi. When you said about scripts, can you be a bit more specific? What kind of things I know you've got to adapt it to being our own person, you know, when you mentioned scripts.
Yeah, so like, I don't know if you guys are doing, I will assume that a lot of you have done a Zoom launch, but you can go on the Healthy Living Revolution website, and there are actually scripts for Zoom launches. I think they're linked on the Mission Driven model as well. And so that's just, you know, it literally takes you through. And I know on the Mission Driven model, there's also probably 3 pages of text blitzing that you can do for prospecting. And it's not that there's anything wrong with having a script. I think it's good to have a script in front of you. It keeps you confident. When I'm on calls a lot, I'll take notes, you know, or like Post-it notes like this, and I put them all down my screen. Like I can take this right now and put it like right under my camera, and nobody can see that. So even though my screen's completely covered, my camera's not. So people know that I'm looking straight at them. But, you know, I'll even let people know sometimes that I've got a script when I'm doing something, because I think that's duplicatable too. That, you know, people say, oh, I can't do what you do. Well, sure you can. It's just here written on a piece of paper. Just read it. You know, I used to do that all the time at the beginning of my business. I would hand off my little wellness presentation booklet and say, here, you read this. You're running the show now. See how easy it is. But yeah, those scripts are out there all over the Juice Plus website. So you can grab them for pretty much anything you need, and then just personalize them a little more.
Thank you.
Anyone else? I think no one has any questions. Do you have 3 little tips that you want to share at the end for everyone, to a little homework maybe?
Oh goodness, homework. Okay.
We love homework.
Put on this spot, right? Well, one, I would say, who is someone that you've lost connection with that you really would like to reconnect with? Go find them on social media, reconnect, comment on their pictures, you know, make sure you're connecting that way so that they know you're there still. You know, the second thing I would say is, this is not just the season of holidays. This is the best time to be planting seeds. We know our biggest month in the business is coming up in January. So I've challenged my team to go to as many holiday parties, gatherings, social events. This is the month of social interaction. And so, you know, what's on your calendar? If you don't have 3 or 4 events scheduled, there's plenty of time in the month. Get them on there. And it doesn't have to be Juice Plus events, coffee dates, lunches, whatever. But I mean, I really try to have 3 or 4 live events a week, not in a month. So get however many people you can interact with. So that would be second. And I guess third, I would say this is a busy month. So take good self-care. Even though you're out there doing crazy busy schedule, we all need that quiet time with our family and our friends. And be present where you are. So where you are, put the phone down. When you're having lunch that you just scheduled with that friend, set your phone down, put it in your purse, and give someone your undivided attention, because that will go so long in your relationship with them. So there you go.
Thank you so much. That was
You're
awesome.
welcome.
Well, if nobody else has anything else to ask you, I think we're going to let you go so you can go post your Facebook. Thank you so much, Karen. It was amazing and very informative. Everybody have a great day and go live life.
Thanks so much, Karen. So grateful.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy
Merry
holidays.
Christmas.
Thank you, Karen.
You bet. Bye.
Bye.